Hey parents, welcome to my channel, One Word with Me. I'm Jessica Julian, speech language pathologist. I just wanted to take a moment and share something with you that I experienced earlier this week while working with one of my 4-year-old clients. I walked into my therapy room completely prepared with my activity, with my agenda, keeping my client's goals in mind. And the activity was about making snow, which by the way I did post. And I just knew my client would enjoy the activity because of the sensory component of actually touching and manipulating different textures. So I proceeded with reading the book and talking about the snow. My client turned one page in the book, and then because I already had the snow prepared and in front of me, my client stuck one finger in the snow, then scooted away from me. And I said, oh boy, does this mean my client is not interested? And remember, I know my client, so I had my client's goals in mind and the things that my client likes in mind. But at that moment, it wasn't going the way I thought it would go. But then I quickly noticed that my client's attention was never diverted away from the activity. So that encouraged me to keep going. So I continued reading the book with the same high energy, with the inflection in my voice and the animation. And when the book was done, I picked up the snow and I made snowballs and I smushed the snow. I even presented it to invite my client back toward me to continue playing. So my client would scoot a little bit forward and then scoot back, scoot a little forward, then scoot back. So I continued because all the while my client was still focused on the activity. So once that part of the activity was done, I moved it away, said all done, and I put it behind me. And I proceeded to go on to the second activity, at which point my client was totally not interested in that. So again, following a child's lead, I recognized that my client did not want that, but my client stood up to walk behind me. And at that point, my client was heading for the tray of snow. So I immediately brought that back in front of me. And at that point, my client was ready to play in the snow. So there we go. I'm yielding the response that I initially wanted. But maybe in the beginning, my client just wasn't ready. But I kept going. So we're playing in the snow. So here we are. We're the joint activity of playing in the snow together. I've already read the book, so I didn't need to bring that back out. But we're playing in the snow. I made snowballs. I let my client smash the snow, and then that activity was done. So I put that behind me. So parents, the reason why I felt that it was important to share this with you, uh, keep going, is because sometimes our children, they're not immediately interested in what we're doing, or at least it seems that way. But if you just keep going, they eventually come back around. And it doesn't always go perfect for us as clinicians. But the way I handle my therapy sessions is I do follow my client's lead. And I am persistent and I am consistent. And I keep the same high energy, right? Because ultimately that's what really draws the kids back in so that we can ultimately get the results that we want, right? So, and in this case, it happened toward the end of the session. And I understand it doesn't always happen that way and it can be discouraging. But I just want to let you know to keep going. But we always have to follow the child's lead, just paying attention to those subtle cues. So I hope as you continue to follow me here at One Word with Me, I will be able to point out those moments that you can capture to continue to engage your children and not get discouraged, you know. And I don't ever want you to feel, and I get this from a lot of the families that I work with, is that my child just doesn't seem interested, or my child does it while in therapy with you. So I just want to let you know that as a clinician, as an experienced clinician, those things happen. They happen in some of my sessions, right? But we just, again, have to follow the child's lead and just continue to engage them because eventually we do yield the responses and the results that we want of engaging the joint attention, um, the building vocabulary, whatever it is that the goal is at that moment. So again, this today's message is just really to encourage you to keep going. All right. I hope you found that information useful and remember to subscribe to my channel, One Word with Me. I'm Jessica Julian. See you next time.